Good afternoon. Well, we're working on the woodshed. We got her screwed down to the ties. I'm going to drive pegs through the ties into the ground to kind of just stabilize it a little better. But honestly, I don't think the wind will blow it away, but there's a really good chance I hit it when I'm plowing snow. So there's that. And I got the first two panels on the roof in the center. I'm doing this all backwards. I know. You start at the bottom, go up or whatever, like normal roofing, but I only have a fixed amount of material and I want it to be centered. And I'm too dumb to calculate the whatever measurement would need to be calculated to start on one side and go up and over. So I'm starting in the middle and coming down, and I just screwed it in the middle so I can just lift it up and tuck it under on one side, and then I overlap on the other side, so it's no problem. I was in the process. I had my third panel up there. It's that one leaning against the garage, and everything was working out good till it slid off and yeah, bent in a horrible way in the corner. I'll have to use it somewhere else. So I've got another fresh panel. I wasn't going to film any of this because it's so sketchy and hard, and there's a good chance I'll capture my own death. But I figured, you know what, it went south once. I came up with a slightly better strategy. I'm going to see if I can't get it up there a second time. I had it up there, I had it overlapped. I went to slide it ahead an inch to line up flush on the front here. And when I slid it, the back came off and I couldn't hold it from the one end. So I had to let her go. Things I've learned so far. At no point in time, once I get that thing precariously up there on those vice grips, am I gonna walk down this side. I'm gonna take the long way. And the other thing I might do is once I get up on the vice grips, I climb up on the wood pile, I push it up the rest of the way, overlap it. I'm gonna move the vice grips up so that it can't fall down like that a second time, and I should be okay. So I'll film it and take y'all along for the ride. But on the plus side, it's when I had it up there and saw it kind of starting to take shape, this is going to work out. I'm going to have me a woodshed with a roof, and that's exciting. Part number one complete. I learned that once we're here, we're pretty safe. Once you're inside the hoop, can't come back inside. It's too long. Much easier the first time. I got a spike right in the head from an existing hole. That part done. Now while I'm holding it, actually sliding pretty close. Ooh-wee. Yeah, cheek. Oh. Get a step there. Man, this is one of those times where a guy really should have phoned a friend for a hand. I thought about it, but everybody was busy, and I last second decided to do this today. Whole front of this wood pile too. Probably shouldn't walk on the wood pile. Come on. Ah, you. Perfect. Now the ladder will be nice and stable. Let's just try again. Like that. Success. Success. Look at that. All right, well, we didn't die. The next piece is only 8 feet long, so it's a lot easier to deal with. So we will carry on. It's a few days later now, and I got a rain day. So I'll show you where we got to. Before I cut my last piece to fill in that spot, it had rained overnight. I did it over Saturday and Sunday, and it had rained overnight, and I had this side down one less row than what it is now, and all that wood got wet on the corner and all the way down. So I decided before I cut that piece to just see how it goes with the full length piece coming down further, and I decided that I'm going to go down one more row on each side. So I had to go and buy 4 more pieces of material, and here we are some days later. I have those 4 pieces of material. So I'm going to cut and hang my 2 shorter pieces first, and then a long piece and a short piece on the other side, and then the woodshed project will be complete. But it's working out pretty good. It would have been nice to find 20-foot lengths, and I did find 20-foot lengths in lesser material. It wasn't as thick, and it didn't have anywhere near the rib that this one has, and I think that the bigger ribs on this stuff is really what's going to make it work for these 44-inch spans. That's asking a lot out of tin, I know, but we'll see. But anyway, I definitely need to seal that seam there because water just drips. You can see the wood's wet right here and here. So I'm just going to fire some silicone on it. I'm sure it'll be fine. It doesn't need to be watertight. I don't care if a little bit of water drips on this wood pile. It just can't be like soaking it like it is right there. So I got to deal with that. Surprisingly, almost no water comes in through the holes. There's holes everywhere in it. It's like the stars. So I'm going to get chopping and finish this thing up. Be ideal to not do it in the rain, but it's raining and I have time, so here we go. Good morning. Well, I got rained out the other day. I was able to get 1 panel on, so this side's complete. It's not the straightest hang job on the tin, but it is what it is, and for a woodshed, quite frankly, it's good enough. I could do better if I tried harder, and I could definitely do better if I had a little bit of help, but I'm working by myself, and these sheets are kind of unwieldy, and it is what it is. This is how I'm doing it. I got 3 more pieces to hang this morning. I just clamp my vice grips on there, and that'll hold the piece while I maneuver my drill and such. And so the project for today is to get the last 3 pieces on this side, so 2 cut pieces in 1 length. I got some sealant so I can seal this seam all the way around, and I'm gonna do some of the holes, mostly the ones right at the top, and that'll stop most of the water. That's good enough. Good enough for a woodshed, eventual boat storage. So once we are done that, the other thing I want to tackle today, when I was at the wrecker the other week, I discovered a thing. I want to deal with this. This is the most annoying. It's sharp it grabs your little arm fur. It is just nasty. So I'm gonna see if I can change. I have a whole piece, like top bottom, but it's different interior, like the material doesn't match. Not that it really matters with the seat looking the way it does, but I'm gonna see if you can change just the lid. I feel like you can. It's on a hinge, which means it must come apart. So we're gonna see if we can change just the lid on this. That's the secondary project today, secondary to completion of woodshed. So let's get after it. Well, that'll complete the woodshed for now. The only thing I want to do yet is I'm going to put some of the tin cutoffs that I had. I'll put a 1x6 across there and another one right at the very top, and I'll hang them vertically just to cap the top off a bit, because the rain can come in like this and it soaks the front of the pile here. I need to silicone that seam, and I'm on the fence about this bottom row of tin on this side. This is the south side, and if I pile the wood in a little more, it won't get wet, and it would get a lot more sun if I did. So I might take this bottom row off actually, and then move it to the north side here, which would bring it all the way down to the ground. And because the north side doesn't get any sun anyway, I can't imagine why, you know, and then it'll stop snow from blowing in there and whatever. Well, I'm on the fence about it. We'll see. We'll see. For now, it's hanging up already. I can always take it off and switch it to the other side. It's no big deal. Pieces are the same length on both sides. It doesn't change anything. I took some of my, this is pine. It's all dry, good to go. Cut it last January, December. My ash, though, I'm assuming because it's a different species, maybe had a higher moisture content to begin with. I took some ash and I split it and I checked the moisture content, and it's actually still a little too wet to burn. It's like 22, 23. This was anywhere from 9 to 13, which is, I thought was interesting. I have a feeling that a lot of that moisture is related to the water that just dripped on it for 3 days when it was raining through the seam. And when I had it tarped, the water, I think, was leaking in the middle here. There was a low spot in the tarp, and I wasn't ever, you know, flipping the water out of it. So we'll see. But it is what it is. If I can't burn that ashes here, then I'll just burn all that pine, and it is what it is. Hopefully have enough pine. The combined amount is for sure enough. I don't know that not burning any ash will leave me with enough wood for the winter. We're gonna find out. It's a pretty good sized pile. I don't know how many cords are there. Some number of cords. It's 8 feet wide. It's close to 8 feet tall in the middle. And I've taken this corner out, most of it, and loaded it in the house already. It's already been burning some. It's getting cold at night. And it's 16 feet long. Tapers off at the back though a little bit. At the back it's only 5 feet. Yeah, it's 16 feet long. And that birch would make it, I don't know, longer. However long that is, 18 feet. The whole shed is 20 feet, so yeah, so we'll call it 16 feet long. Anyway, it is what it is. I threw that tin on there to stop some of the leaking. Later on today, once it dries a little bit more, I'm going to get up there. I got some sealer, and I'll seal that seam, at least the top bit, so that it doesn't rain down in the middle of the pile. And I think in the future what I might do is just leave a space. It comes down in a straight line across the shed, so if I just leave a space there, it'll drip straight to the ground. That's fine by me. Anyway, on to the next one.